More than half of Americans with an income of $100,000 a year or higher say they're living paycheck to paycheck. This may be the result of a sneaky behavioral phenomenon called lifestyle creep.
Lifestyle creep is the common pattern of making a little more money and starting to spend a little bit more money. It happens almost automatically.
There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. The mental, emotional reason why we want to acquire more is generally rooted in this need for your perceived value. We live in a world where the nicer car you drive, the higher your perceived value is.
6 out of every 10 people surveyed said that paying for everyday expenses negatively impacted their mental health.
It does take a lot of joy from just life and always being in this scarcity mindset when there isn't necessarily scarcity to fear.
Here's why Americans feel like they're constantly struggling to keep their paycheck, even when they start making more money.
Because we won't stay out of the store. Hey guys, Robert here. Welcome back to the channel. I know you guys get your Twitter fingers ready. I can tell I'm gonna get a lot of heat on this one, but I'm gonna keep it a buck with you because on this channel, we get to the root, as my mom would say, of the issue to find out what a lot of you guys are lamenting about so that you can make a change if you want to. That's the beautiful thing about this country that we live in. You can continue to do what you are doing or you can change. The choice is yours. Lifestyle creep is real. There's several people, several families, single folks, married people that are making over 6 figures. But when your income goes up, your consumption is going up. If you won't stop consuming, I guarantee you're going to end up regretting it.
So picture this, you are in your mid to late 20s, maybe all the way up to your mid to late 30s or 40s, just depending on how life has progressed for you. And you feel like you are finally doing the things, okay? You have gotten the degrees and the certifications. You are starting to move up in your career. And with climbing up that ladder, you're starting to get a little bit more access to money and things are feeling good. And so, of course, with that growth, you feel like a growth in your life and the way things around you are moving and flowing is natural. And so with this newfound access to more resources, more money, you decide that you want to upgrade some areas of your life where you're already spending money. So your $30 weekly target run becomes a $60, $70 weekly target run. You decide that you want to upgrade from your 1-bedroom apartment to your 2-bedroom apartment. Your, monthly, bi-monthly sew-in where you get 16 inches, you actually want to upgrade that and drop it down to 2024. You want to upgrade your sedan to an SUV. Completely normal, realistic things that I think a lot of people would want to and probably have upgraded over the course of time.
First of all, very articulate and well put together video. One day, I aspire to speak as well on camera as this young lady. So shout out to you. Now, whenever you have to justify anything by your feelings, it's never going to end up well. And so whenever you accomplish something and you have a feeling that you need to reward yourself, that's a pause. You really need to stop. And what trumps feelings are facts, numbers, in fact, in this case. So the first thing that I would say is she's spot on, in my opinion, not just from lived experience, but from seeing hundreds of loan applications on a yearly basis as a loan officer. And she hit the sweet spot, that 28 to 40, that 12-year period is a very crucial one. And that's a period where I see a lot of lifestyle creeping going on. So much so, folks are buying homes a lot later in life. And again, my stance for this video is it's not because you don't have enough money. It's because of lifestyle creep. So my first question to you would be, when you feel like you've accomplished something, I've graduated from college, great accomplishment. How did you pay for it? Did you finance it with student loans? You see, we have to start breaking the language down to where it's a base type language, because she speaks very eloquently and beautifully, in fact. But in all of that butter and sugar, okay, you don't get the gritty, grimy, the debt part. Okay, so did you finance your college education? If you did, before you feel like going out and getting into more debt by whatever means that is, then you need to make sure you have a plan of action to pay off said debt for accomplishment. Hopefully you were able to get a job in the field that you studied in and you're making big money. Okay. Again, you feel good because now I have more money coming in than I had before. Okay. And so you may have to move, and there's certain things what I would agree with her with that is going to increase just because, like I said, you may have to move to a different city. You have to have accommodations, transportation, all those things around the job. But the second thing you should do when you get that feeling, because now you have a paycheck coming in, hopefully it's a big paycheck, you need to go to irs.gov in whatever state that you're in, and you need to find out what your federal and or state tax liability is on the money that you're making, and back that out of the monies that you feel like you're getting now. Okay, because if you watched a video that I did a couple of weeks ago, you know what? I'll put it right over here. We live on the net, not on the gross. Okay, so gross purchasing gets a lot of us in trouble as well. And so said all that to say, feelings are necessary. They can get me out of a fight or flight situation. When you fall in love, you know, when you're happy, when you're sad, feelings have a place and a purpose, but you always have to temper those feelings with something factual. Hopefully I made sense there. And she's right. A lot of people go out and buy a car. You upgrade the car. Worst thing that you could ever do. Have you seen some of these car payments out here recently? New clothing, eating out, a lot of the stuff that she aforementioned is what the problem is, aka lifestyle creep. And so respectfully, a lot of you guys out there have the money, even if it's less than figures, but you also have an increase of your lifestyle. And so I would challenge you to go back and look at the numbers. What numbers am I alluding to? Your bank statements for the last 3 months, or your credit card statements, because a lot of us, according to the numbers, are financing these lifestyles on credit cards. That's debt. That's accruing interest. So go back 3 months. Don't beat yourself up and follow the money, because the money never lies. And then from there, you can start getting a grasp on where the money's going so that you could determine, one, do I need to make more money? Or two, do I need to cut off some of these things? Because I do have enough coming in. It's just creeping out of my life. To this point, I mentioned cars earlier, right? I want you to listen to this doctor. I think if a lot of you guys out there became doctors, you would think that's an accomplishment. I want you to listen to what this doctor's saying. Don't listen to the old man, because, you know, I'm just a hater. But listen to how this doctor deals with the lifestyle creep topic, specifically when it comes to vehicles. Check it out.
Okay, so I'm 20 years old and I make 6 figures. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some things that I didn't do once I started making money. Number one, I didn't say, well, okay, so now I'm making some money. Let me go ahead and buy whenever I have a vehicle that is literally paid off. Numero dos, I didn't say, all right, let me go ahead and start buying all this designer. Look, Zara will take you a long way. H&M, PacSun. I don't need to switch it up. Why would I do that? Imagine putting yourself in financial turmoil for people that don't really care about you. And lastly, most importantly, I didn't say, all right, let me stop budgeting, okay? What you don't monitor, you cannot manage. If millionaires and celebrities can go broke, what makes you think that if you don't watch your bread, that you can't go broke?
So I agree 100% with the doctor. Appreciate you, Doc. Again, we do a lot of stuff for validation for people we don't even know. And then some of the folks that we know, low key, they don't even like you. So before you make these decisions that are going to cause your future self to suffer via lifestyle creep, we really need to think about it. So now, if you know me and you watch these videos, I always want to leave you with some solutions. So let's pivot and find out how myself and you, the community, can pick up some jewels, some tools that we might be able to use and implement to fight this thing called lifestyle creep. Because I would be lying if I said I don't have to deal with it either. Let's check out this young lady and her suggestions.
One of the best habits I've been able to develop since I was young to avoid lifestyle creep is to squeeze every ounce of value and use I can get out of the things that I own before looking to replace them for something new and improved for the sake of validation from my peers. The iPhone, for instance, for as long as I could remember, my peers used to be on top of it like clockwork to trade their phones in when the new ones would drop, just so they had the new ones, when it all just did the same thing in a different font. But that's something I've just never felt a way about. Like, I've had the iPhone 12 since my freshman year all the way up to my senior year of college, and I think the only reason I traded it in was because I realized I wanted to take my content a bit more serious, so I just needed a better camera for that. Same thing with my car. Since I've been home from college, I haven't even thought to replace it with a new one, even though my mom did bring up the idea, but it works just fine and it gets me where I need to go, so I've never seen a reason to replace it. I've never been the kind of person that needs the newest and best version of everything. Like, as long as it's still doing its job, I'm gonna squeeze every ounce of value out of it.
I agree 100%. I think they call it GAS, right? Gear Acquisition Syndrome. I told myself I don't need another gadget. You need to utilize the tools that you currently have as far as this YouTube channel is concerned in making videos. Most of us are using 3 to 4% of the capabilities of what we have available to us. Excellent point. Let's be better stewards over the things that we have if you want to take care of yourself today and your future self. I think it's very, very good sage advice. Last 6 things. I want to leave you with 6 tips from a financial advisor and from somebody that helps people budget. And hopefully you can use these things. Hopefully you find them helpful to help you with this thing that we call lifestyle creep. Check it out.
Here are the 3 money habits that are keeping you poor. I'm Tyler, former financial advisor and portfolio manager. I make financial content for free so that you don't have to pay for it. Number 1, you're complaining about taxes instead of learning about them. If I hear one more ding-a-ling in the comments tell me to pay my fair share of taxes when all I'm doing is talking about tax-advantaged accounts, what I pay is by definition my fair share. What you are paying, unfortunately, is way more than your fair share because you haven't learned the tax code. Number 2, you're prioritizing status symbols over true wealth. Forget about the fancy car, the fancy house, the fancy clothes. If you are spending 100% of your paycheck, you're 100% going to wind up broke, stuff that's no longer in style. But if you buy just one vest and put everything else in a low-cost index fund, there's your wealth. And number 3, you're paying yourself last. I know it's cliche, but if you are currently living paycheck to paycheck, there is nothing more important than putting 5 to 10% of that paycheck into a retirement account or a brokerage account and investing it.
3 things that are keeping you broke and how you're going to fix it. Number 1, you're paying off debt too fast. You're throwing all your extra money towards debt, but what you need to do instead is build a buffer for yourself. Think about some larger expenses that are coming up in the future and start setting money aside for those things too. Think of it as future debt prevention. 2, you only check your bank account balance when you need to make a spending decision. Your bank account balance is only like a tiny fraction of the whole story. If you want to know where your money needs to go, you need to have a spending plan. Have categories for all of your expenses and savings goals and prioritize your money accordingly. I use the YNAB app for this because it has taken all of the second guessing out of my spending. And number 3, you don't think of money as finite. With how available debt has become to us, it has really blurred the lines. But what you actually need to do is acknowledge that money is finite so you can start making more intentional choices with it. Start weighing the trade-offs and ask yourself, what do I want this money to do for me?
So there you have it, guys. Plenty of information for you to glean from and or go check out for yourself. If you're someone that has watched this video and says, you know what, I want to look out for my future self. I don't want that lifestyle creep to come in and take away these 12 prime years if you're from 28 to 40, and I want to get on the property ladder. I just don't know how. Well, you're in luck. I'm a lender, and I would love to have a conversation with you. You can reach out to me via the pinned comment for my information or in the description below. Secondly, if you're someone who has some credit challenges and you just don't know where you want to start, there's also a self-paced do-it-yourself credit repair in the description. Check that out for yourself so that you can get yourself ready to get onto the property ladder. So my time is up. I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. And if you want to continue to learn how to buy, own, sell, and other financial topics, well, then you want to check out this video right here. Until the next time, indeed.